Well, hello dear friends from somewhere off the coast of Phuket in Thailand. If you've finished up with your time in Phuket, with all the nightlife and all the other things that city has to offer, and you're looking to sort of downgrade, downshift a little bit in your activities and energy, try hopping on a ferry down to Krabi. So you can take the ferry down. I'm heading to Ao Nang, which is in Krabi. Has a lot more slower pace, a lot more sort of kickback vibes. It's a great place to go after maybe you've had your fill of the nightlife and the city offerings that Phuket has. And it's a great place to go to sort of take it down a notch. One of the great ways to get there is the ferry that I'm on today. So it's about 2 or 3 hours. It'll take you from Phuket and drop you off in Ao Nang. There's lots of other destinations that these ferries go to. You can find several different ferries, several different destinations. This one's great. They'll pick you up at your hotel, bring you to the port, you hop on the boat, and it's about 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours. As far as resort areas go, Ao Nang is one of my most favorite places in Thailand. It's pretty easily accessible. It's a beautiful area. It's this cove that has this sort of crescent beachfront that's crowned by this massive cliff, the limestone cliff. There's lots of tours that come out of here. You can see all the long-tail boats. These will take you out to the islands and snorkeling. It's on the west coast, so you're going to see sunsets every night here. And it's a great city for walking. Unlike a lot of the towns and cities in Thailand, the main drag here has great, nice, wide sidewalks, which you can walk. Actually, don't have to walk in the street, which is kind of nice. There's lots of shopping and plenty of food options and all that stuff. So yeah, I'll be taking you through a little bit of what Ao Nang has to offer. And boy, talk about a gorgeous sunset, huh? I mean, the colors here are just lovely with these long-tail boats, sort of offsetting, the sunset in the distance. It's a really delightful place to spend time. About 20 kilometers outside of Ao Nang is Khao Kanab Nam. This is just a really big cave complex. There's a couple, 2, 3 caves to explore down here. There's one really big cave that you have to walk up a set of stairs to get to. And it's a really expansive internal cave that has a exposed sunlight area with a tree growing right at the end of it. It's really well maintained. There's bridges and that kind of thing, and several little plaques set up to give you kind of an idea of history. And in World War II, I guess, Japanese soldiers would bunk up in the caves here when their boats were pulled and tied out in the river. It's a really amazing area. It's kind of not very easy to get to. You have to sort of if you follow Google Maps, you end up in somebody's front yard, basically. You can rent a motorbike, come out here. But if you follow Google Maps, you want to follow it down to the river, and you'll come across bridges that go through basically this really amazing mangrove forest with monkeys, and just very awesome in its own right. But as you enter the mangrove forest on the covered bridges, you want to take a left. And that'll take you down to the dock where you can catch a boat to the caves. You have to cross a river to get to them. So the boat is 150 baht per person. That's there and back. And that's the only way to get to the cave, is you got to cross over the boat, which is fine. But it's well worth it. You take your time, come down here. The other great thing about this place is that there's barely any folks hanging out here. So there's almost no people that you have to kind of fight crowds with. So that can be really nice, given some of the other kind of like overly tourist areas. So when I was here, I basically had the whole complex to myself. So it's been really nice to explore the cave. You go through different tunnels. There's one you can walk through that goes to the river, and you can kind of perch there and watch the boats go by, have a moment, quiet, introspection, cave introspection if you want. And then there's one you have to climb up a set of stairs to get to. That's the larger one. There are monkeys all over the complex that you can take a look at and examine. But it's great, you know, it's all, you know, you're in the cave, so you're away from the heat in the afternoon sun. There's also a lookout that's down there too that you can kind of see the whole area. But this cave is inside the limestone cliffs that are so prominent in this part of Thailand. You know, as you make your way out into the countryside around Ao Nang, and you'll find yourself just sort of blazing through these palm date farms and the coconut and all of these other agricultural products. But it's just a green, lush area, and interspersed with these, you know, massive limestone hills and mountains, these cliffs that are just sort of, that just jut up out of nowhere in the middle of the farmland. It's just a really beautiful, kind of stark landscape. And, you know, the ride is just as beautiful as, you know, some of the destinations sometimes. Well, it's hard to find more picturesque backdrop to your vacation than Krabi. This place is legendary with its beautiful white beaches, amazing limestone cliffs that come right out of the ocean. It's just a delight out here. You can swim in this water. It's probably just a little bit below bathwater temperature. Very comfortable. Lots of snorkeling opportunities. You can take a trip out here. Usually, you know, there's several people that offer these island tours. So you can hop on one of these long-tail boats you see behind me. They'll take you out to the bay. You'll hit, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these islands. Usually you have a dinner on the beach, watch the sunset. It's just a lovely area to come to and spend an afternoon while you're here in Ao Nang.